All right, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about one of the most amazing defense systems in the entire universe, and it's happening inside you right now. We're talking about those special agents of your immune system, antibodies. And we're going to answer a really simple question. How do they actually work? So, I want you to picture this. Right now, inside your body, there's this incredible team of microscopic superheroes. They're constantly on patrol 24/7, protecting you from all sorts of invisible threats. And they are just relentless. They're super precise, and honestly, they are absolutely essential for you to even be here.
Okay, so to really get how these agents do their job, we've got to understand the battlefield, right? So let's kick things off with our first section, the body's elite agents.
You know, every single moment of every day, your body is basically under siege. Seriously. Bacteria, viruses, all kinds of microscopic invaders are trying to get in. But don't worry, because defending you on the front lines is this elite force of super specialized proteins. Yep, these are your antibodies.
So, what's the number one most critical job for any elite agent? You gotta know your enemy, right? And that brings us to their absolute primary mission: identify the intruder.
So how in the world does your body spot an enemy? Well, think of it this way. Every single virus, every bacterium, basically any foreign thing, has this unique molecular signature on its surface. It's kind of like a team jersey or a country's flag. In the world of immunology, we call that an antigen. It's basically the signal that just screams, "Hey, I don't belong here."
And when your body sees that specific flag, what does it do? It deploys its specialist agent, the antibody. And you'll notice it has this really distinctive Y shape. This little protein is totally custom-built with one, and only one, single-minded purpose. Find that specific antigen it was made for and neutralize it.
Okay, this is where it gets really cool. I mean, how does one tiny antibody find its one specific target among literally trillions of other molecules floating around in your body? Well, the answer is just this beautifully simple and elegant concept, the perfect lock and key.
So here's the deal. The tips of that Y-shaped antibody, they're structured just like a unique, perfectly cut key. And that key will only fit into one specific molecular shape, its target antigen, which is a lock. So an antibody built for the chickenpox virus, it's going to completely ignore a common cold virus. It won't even give it a second look. And here's the part that just blows my mind. Your body can produce billions of different antibodies, each with its own totally unique key. It's this incredible specificity that makes the whole system so unbelievably powerful. So this basically gives us the antibodies playbook. It's pretty straightforward. First, it recognizes its target. Then, it binds on super tight. And from there, it's got two main strategies for, taking out the trash. It can either neutralize the threat all by itself, or it can tag the invader for other cells to come in and do the dirty work.
Let's check out that first strategy, the direct action approach. This is option 1, direct neutralization.
What's so amazing about this is how elegantly simple it is. Seriously, to neutralize an invader, sometimes an antibody just gets in the way. By grabbing onto a virus, it can physically block the exact parts that the virus needs to infect your cells. It's kind of like putting a boot on a car. That car isn't going anywhere. Or you can get a bunch of antibodies to grab onto several invaders all at once, which causes them to clump together into this big, useless blob. And that makes them a much easier target for the rest of the immune system to find and, obliterate.
But here's the thing. Antibodies don't always have to be the solo heroes. They're actually expert delegators and fantastic team players. And that brings us to their second, much more collaborative strategy, tagging for takedown.
So this is their other huge role. Instead of taking on the threat directly, an antibody will grab onto an invader and basically become a glowing beacon, a security tag. This tag sends out a massive signal to the immune system's heavy hitters. We're talking about cells like macrophages, and their job is just to hunt down, swallow up, and completely annihilate anything that's been tagged. Game over.
So let's just do a quick recap of these two functions, right? On one hand, you've got direct neutralization. That's the antibody acting as the solo hero, disarming the bad guy all by itself. Then on the other hand, you have tagging for takedown. That's where the antibody acts more like a scout, pointing out the target and calling in the cleanup crew. It's really the difference between a direct, hands-on approach and a team-based strategy. Two totally different tactics, but they both lead to the exact same crucial result.
Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. It doesn't matter if it's acting like a shield or acting like a flare gun. The antibody's one and only mission is simple. Find the threats, make sure they get eliminated, and protect the body. Period. So when you stop and think about this incredibly precise, unbelievably powerful system that's working inside you this very second, it just has to make you wonder, right? As we get better at understanding and harnessing this power, what could the future of medicine possibly unlock? I mean, we're talking about revolutionary cancer therapies, designing the next generation of vaccines. The potential is just astounding. And it's all thanks to those little microscopic superheroes doing their job inside you right now.